Have you ever felt like your life is stuck in a loop where you want to rise, you want to grow, you want to make something of yourself, but every time you try to take the first step, something inside holds you back? You imagine a better version of yourself, you dream of success, you talk about change, but when the moment finally comes to act, you pause, hesitate, and walk away. You tell yourself, later, I will try later, even though deep down you know that later never comes. If you have ever felt this way, then this story might be the reflection you didn't know you needed. It might shake you awake. It might even change the way you see your future. In a peaceful village tucked between rolling hills and flowing rivers, there lived a young man named. He was strong, healthy, and smart, and everyone in the village believed he was destined for greatness. Himself believed it too. He often told people, "One day I will build the biggest workshop in this village. One day I will become known for my craft. One day I will make my family proud." His words were beautiful, full of hope and promise, but there was a problem. A problem so big that it quietly shaped his entire life, dreamed too much and acted too little. Every day he woke up thinking he would start something new. He would tell himself, today is the day. But then he would sit in front of his house, watching people walk by, watching the sky change colors, watching life move forward while he remained still. When others worked hard under the sun, rested. When others pushed carts, lifted tools, or learned skills, talked about how he would do even greater things someday. When his mother asked him to help with chores, he smiled and said, "Ma, I will do it later." But later was an empty promise. House was small but filled with love. His father had passed away years ago, leaving only his mother and his younger sister. His mother worked endlessly. She stitched clothes for villagers, cooked meals, washed clothes, carried water, and still found time to care for her children. She prayed every night for to find direction. She knew he had talent hidden inside him, but she also knew that talent without discipline is like a seed without water. It dries, it shrinks, it dies. One cool evening, an old traveler arrived in the village. People gathered around him because he carried a heavy wooden chest. Rumor spread that he was once a great craftsman who built magnificent structures in distant lands. He stayed at the village inn, and the next morning, his mother insisted he go meet the traveler. "Maybe he can guide you," she said softly. Didn't want to go, but something inside him pushed him. Maybe curiosity, maybe guilt, maybe a small spark that had not yet died. Knocked on the door of the inn, and the traveler invited him inside with a warm smile. His beard was silver, his eyes sharp like he could see right through a person. He listened quietly as spoke about his dreams, talked with excitement about success, about money, about fame, his voice rising with every sentence. When finished, expecting praise, the old traveler simply asked, "So what have you done so far to build this future?" Froze. He looked away. He had no answer. The traveler opened his wooden chest and brought out a small clay pot. Inside were two plants. One was weak and small, barely alive. The other was tall, thick, and spreading its roots wildly. The old man smiled and said, "Do you know what these are?" Shook his head. The traveler continued, "This small one is the plant of dreams. Beautiful, fragile, full of potential. But it needs daily care, water, sunlight, patience, and love. Without effort, it becomes weak. And this other one, this big one. This is the plant of habit. It grows whether you want it or not. If your habits are good, they become strong and support you. If your habits are bad, they grow wild, take over your life, and strangle your dreams." Stared at the plants, and something inside him trembled. The old man continued gently, "My son, your dreams are alive, but they are starving. Your habits, on the other hand, are thriving because you feed them daily. The habits of delay, distraction, and laziness, they grow fast and they destroy everything else." Lowered his head in shame. The traveler placed the clay pot in his hands and said, "Take this. Care for the plant of dreams every single day. No matter how small the effort, give it something. Water it with action, not intention, and watch how your life changes." Took the pot home. At first he was excited. He watered the tiny plant gently and placed it near sunlight. The next morning he woke early and checked on it again. For the first time in years, felt a spark of discipline. He helped his mother with chores. He cleaned the yard. He even began learning basic crafting skills using old tools his father had left behind. But soon the excitement faded, as it always did. On the fourth day, he slept late. On the fifth, he forgot to water the plant. On the sixth, he felt too lazy to work on his skills. He sat outside again, watching birds, watching clouds, watching nothing. The old habits returned effortlessly. And slowly, the strong habit plant in the pot started growing faster than ever. Its roots spread into the soil, stealing water, stealing space, stealing life. The dream plant started shrinking again. Days passed, avoided looking at the pot. He didn't want to face the truth. But one afternoon, while his mother was out working, felt restless. He walked into his room and picked up the pot. What he saw inside made his heart drop. The dream plant was almost dead, dry and colorless. But the habit plant was huge, tangled, and wild. As he stared at the dying dream, he suddenly remembered all the moments in life when he had chosen comfort over growth, laziness over action, delay over discipline. He remembered opportunities he had let slip away. He remembered promises he had made and broken. He remembered dreams he once carried proudly and then lost slowly, silently. He sank to the floor, tears filled his eyes, and for the first time whispered, "It's my fault. I am the reason nothing grows in my life." That night sleep did not come. His mind felt heavy but awake. He thought about the traveler's words. He thought about his mother working day and night. He thought about his sister who looked up to him. He thought about the life he wanted but kept pushing away with his own hands. The next morning before the sun rose, woke up. He took the pot outside. Instead of giving up, he did something he had never done before. He took responsibility. He cut away the wild habit plant carefully. He pulled out the roots one by one, even though it hurt him to see how deep they had grown. Then he watered the tiny dream plant gently. He whispered to it, "I will not let you die, not again." From that day made a choice, a real choice. He watered the plant every morning, and every time he watered it, he did one small discipline task for himself, one small action. He cleaned, he learned, he practiced, he helped, he worked. The actions were tiny, almost invisible, but they were consistent. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. Something inside began to shift. His mind became clearer. His energy grew. His confidence rose. The tiny dream plant slowly became strong. For the first time, felt proud of something he had done with his own hands. Soon villagers started noticing him. They saw him working in the early mornings. They saw him fixing old wooden chairs. They saw him repairing small tools. They saw him becoming someone new, and they trusted him. They brought him more work. They paid him. They encouraged him. Worked harder, he learned new techniques. He made small items and sold them. His mother couldn't believe the change. She smiled often, her eyes filled with gratitude and hope. His younger sister bragged about him to her friends, and he started believing in himself. One day the old traveler returned to the village. When he saw his transformation, he smiled like he already knew what had happened, showed him the plant. It was strong, tall, and beautiful. The habit plant had been completely removed. The traveler placed his hand on shoulder and said, "This plant is your soul. When you nourish it, it grows. When you ignore it, it dies." Bowed respectfully, the traveler added, "Never forget, your life will always grow in the direction you water. Water your dreams and you will rise. Water your laziness and you will fall." Then he left, disappearing like a quiet wind. Years passed, became the village's most skilled craftsman. People from distant towns came to buy his creations. His workshop became famous. His income grew. He built a larger house for his family. He educated his sister. He fulfilled every promise he once made. And every morning, before starting his work, watered the same plant. Not because the plant needed it, but because he needed the reminder. Dear listener's story is not really about a plant. It is about the two forces inside you, the dream you want and the habit you feed. Every day you choose which one grows. Every day your actions decide your future. Dreams need action, discipline, small daily effort. Laziness grows by itself. It spreads fast, quietly, and destroys your life without making a sound. So if you feel stuck, if you feel lost, if you feel like you are not living the life you want, remember Spot. Look inside your own life. Which plant are you watering? Which one is growing? Which one is dying? Do not wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow is the graveyard of failed dreams. Start today. Start small. Start now. Even one drop of effort can bring a dying dream back to life. And if you begin today, one day your life will bloom just like